It's top and bottom. It says you are going to do the top ones around. I wake up with a shitty taste in my mouth. I said,
Next stop, Chicago Junction.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another broadcast of Chicago Junction from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network on Wednesday, April the 10th, the year 2024. Today, the panel will be talking about railroads and model railroads. And now to start today's broadcast, here's our announcer, Mr. Brian.
Well, thank you, John. I hope you had a pleasant month while waiting for this wonderful day. We are going to be here to talk about railroading. And we do talk models, we talk what's going on in the real world, and some of this crazy things that happen.
Hi, this is Doug Kenyak. I'm an adjunct professor at Wilbur Wright College, avid N-scaler, rail fan, and officer in the Railroad and Short Lines Club of Chicago. We meet every third Friday of the month at Union Station, and just like trains in general.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, it's a fun hobby.
Yes, it is. I'm more into the O gauge and outdoor railway. But if I belong to a museum, I can try to get out there for the weekend and work on the real things.
Do you get to keep it if it follows you home?
So far, well, the wife is looking every time I come in through the door. Okay, what do you got now?
There was a meme out there, a Frankenstein one. You see him with the guy on the table, and you see Igor at the door with a steam engine behind him, and he said, "I said brains."
The Far Side. I missed that cartoon.
Yep, there's somebody posting them on Facebook now, so it's kind of fun to see.
I've got 5 volumes.
Our favorite one on the IT world was with the 2 polar bears, and you see him had lifted up the igloo, and the Eskimos running off, and he goes, "I lift, you grab. Was that too complex for you, Carl?"
Yeah.
We had that one hung up all over the place in there.
Yeah, it's good to read it. Yeah, and it does have poignant cartoons.
Okay, so you want me to go as usual, or you want to go first?
You go for it.
All right, well, I got a lot of technical stuff, so it's a lot of interesting things that's being snuck into the railroads that probably won't be recognized for a couple of years, but you can hear it here first. A company called RailVision has secured an order for artificial intelligence powered switchyard systems from a Class 1 railroad. The railroad will install and use the system on its locomotives for evaluation and testing different scenarios related to safety, according to the news release. RailVision's switchyard system uses electro-optic sensors, including thermal and day sensors, combined with AI, machine learning, and advanced driver assistance solutions to overcome limited vision issues that expand the range of the site and decrease downtime. Now, they have received an order for their AI driven switchyard systems from Loham. I think that's how you say it, Lorham, L-O-R-A-M.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The order serves as a pilot project aimed at leveraging their RailVision's advanced technology to enhance Loham's rail track maintenance operations, according to RailVision press release. Should the pilot prove successful, the two companies will consider expanding the collaboration to further integrate rail vision solutions into Rollham service offerings across the U.S. So basically, they're going to automate the rail yard. That's the long range for what I see what's going to happen. Doesn't stop there. A place called Brake Boss provides Class 1 automated air brake testing solutions, has launched an app that enables car inspectors to conduct air brake tests on trains of any length remotely. The app integrates with the advanced Brake Boss portable and Yardmaster devices, enabling car inspectors to perform air brake tests within the rail yard using their mobile devices. This app also allows inspectors to access and review recent test results and monitor the status of installed Brake Boss devices, company officials said. So the car inspector sits in his little office, calls up his app. Nope, that train's ready to go.
How many months before?
Yeah. I tell you, I have a lot of interesting automation news.
Yes. I mean, we're talking when that's going to bite the dust.
So a company called Intramotive, that's INTRAMOTEV, a technology company is building autonomous zero-emission rail solutions, has deployed a self-propelled battery electric rail car in a traditional freight train. Known as Revolt, the rail car retrofit was launched at Iron Cernergy's Cumberland Mine in Waynesboro, Pennsylvania. The car has operated along more than 1,000 miles between the Cumberland Mine and its Alicia Harbor facility, according to Intramotive press release. Later this year, Intramotive will deploy its locomotive replacement, known as Tugboat, at the Calcium Mine in northern Michigan. Now, I checked out. Both lines are, they don't connect to the national network, and they're both enclosed, so there's no highways or anything. You go to Street View and you say, show me the Street View map. There's nothing there. Nothing's been mapped near it or anything. There's no roads. So it's a closed system, sort of like the Rio Tinto in Australia. Mm-hmm. So I can see them doing that, but
yeah,
there it is.
Or
the
like
automated,
the Muskegum too.
Yeah, there's the. It's going to creep in. It's creeping in from different places. You'll like this one. BNSF transports water to Navajo Nation in New Mexico. In the arid desert, water is scarce, especially in the eastern Navajo Nation, wrote staff writer, blah, blah, blah. Many homes on the reservation have no running water. A pipeline or wells are not the solution. Dave Halter, had railroad experience, including freight car maintenance and operation, suggested moving water by train. He is now president of Jacob's Well, that's not-for-profit he started. The source of the water is in Helena, Mississippi. Tank cars loaded with 21,000 gallons of water are moved west to Amory, Mississippi, where the BNSF picks them up and moves them approximately 1,200 miles to the spur at Thorold, New Mexico. Navajo Nation families then either come to the mission to collect water or the mission trucks it to their homes. I question Mississippi because we all know what happens when you drink that water. Anyway. Yep. This is disturbing. NYPD to test weapons detection technology in the subway. New York City nitwit Mayor Eric Adams and the New York Police Department last week announced plans to begin a pilot program using technology designed to detect weapons carried by riders in the New York's subway system. NYPD has instituted a mandatory 90-day waiting period before the new technology can be tested in the city. During the waiting period, NYPD will identify companies with proven expertise in the detection technology. Afterward, the pilot will be instituted in some subway stations where the NYPD will be able to further evaluate the equipment's effectiveness. Keeping New Yorkers safer on the subway and maintaining confidence in the system is key to ensuring New York remains the safest big city in America.
That's what they have with National Guard there now.
Yeah, that's right. Meanwhile, MTA officials said the agency is investing in more clinicians to help those suffering from severe mental illness and participate in efforts to pilot a new technology designed to detect firearms in the mass transit system. And the MTA will begin hiring clinicians to support the expansions of the Subway Co-Response Outward Team, commonly called SCOUT, a pilot program launched in partnership with the state last year to connect people in subways with untreated severe mental illness to mental health care. That implies anybody riding the subway is nuts. That's the only thing I could come up with. Why is it'd be like the CTA hiring a bunch of psychiatrists to find out why you ride the subway. It's like, I'm reading the story like, what? Metro North to use federal funds for automated rail car inspection. New York City-based Metropolitan Transit Authority has received $2 million in federal grants to fund an automated rail car inspection pilot for Metro North Railroad. The automated system will enable Metro North to conduct daily Federal Railroad Administration mandated rail car inspections more efficiently. MTA officials said in a press release, an automated system provides early detection of existing and future defects, reducing potential repair and replacement time. The grant was issued by the U.S. DOT, Strengthening Mobility and Revolutionizing Transportation grant program called SMART. The federal funding from SMART, we can explore new industry advancements, which will enhance the safety and overall reliability of the service, said Metro North. Told you I had a lot of technology. I have one more that's even funnier than this.
Oh, let's go.
But this one is a CPKC marks opening of the KC Soccer Stadium bearing its name. On March 16, Canadian Pacific Kansas City leaders joined representatives from the Kansas City Circuit current women's soccer team and local dignitaries in Kansas City, Missouri to mark the opening of the CPKC Stadium. It's the first stadium built specifically for women's professional sport teams. In October 2023, CPKC announced an agreement with the KC Current, that's the name of the team, for naming rights to the stadium. Located near downtown on a 7-acre site, the stadium has a maximum seating capacity of 11,500. CPKC is a longtime champion of women's professional sports and investing in our communities. Today, we proudly build on that legacy with this barrier-breaking stadium opening, said CPKC President Keith Creel. Prior to the stadium opening to the public for the KC Currents' first regular home season game, CPKC presented the team with a new specially designed mini train modeled after the railroad's popular Little General mini train. The mini trains visit the communities across the Class 1's network to help raise awareness of railroad safety. In addition to the stadium bearing the railroad's name, an outdoor space at the entrance, a family-friendly area where fans and spectators can gather before events and shop at the team store, is called, guess what, CPKC Plaza. With every goal scored by the KC Currents this season, both home and away, CPKC will make a donation to the Adley C. Ward Women's Hearth Health Center at the University of Kansas Health System. Wow. Yeah, they got a stadium now. 11,500. That's about all the employees in the CPKC could be jammed in there and fired. Our announcement. Stay tuned for this announcement. You're all fired.
Wow. So good. So good.
Okay.
Wow.
Now it's only page 4. Federal grant awarded to New Jersey Transit to develop artificial intelligence for grade crossing safety. Told you I had a lot of tech stories. New Jersey Transit have been awarded a federal grant to work with Rutgers University's Center for Advanced Infrastructure and Transportation to implement AI-powered safety systems on light rail vehicles at grade crossings. NJ Transit President, alongside Rutgers CAT system, we are working to set a new standard in transportation safety aimed at preventing grade crossing incidents, leveraging the power of artificial intelligence. Thought they were doing that already, but guess not. We thank the U.S. DOT for this grant, which allows New Jersey Transit to continue to introduce innovative technologies. By investing in the innovative solutions for transportation safety, we can protect commuters and pedestrians and modernize New Jersey infrastructure, says Congressman Rob Mendez, who represents the district where the project will begin. Equipping the rail crossings and critical infrastructure with AI-powered technologies allow New Jersey Transit to collect and analyze previously unattainable safety data, said the director. This information will serve as a foundation for data-driven safety countermeasures that will be deployed to protect communities and reduce service delays and enhance rail reliability throughout New Jersey. Yeah, I can see the AI now. Why am I stuck with this job? Goes rogue, and starts opening up the gates and letting the people get hit, Primary focus of this initiative is to significantly enhance safety while reducing accidents at light rail grade crossings and on right-of-ways. The project strategically aligns with the goals of strengthening mobility and revolutionizing transportation smart grant program and aims to elevate the state of New Jersey's transportation system. Stage one in this project, the NJ Transit and Rutgers University will prototype a tailored artificial intelligence-powered technology solution consisting of stationary cameras at 5 light rail grade crossings and forward-facing cameras in one Hudson Bergen light rail vehicle. This technology will improve safety and detection while offering valuable guidance for future infrastructure enhancements in other areas of mass transit. Stage 1 study will accumulate in a network-wide implementation plan geared towards enhancing pedestrian vehicle safety. In Stage 2, New Jersey Transit will proceed to implementation of the AI-powered technology at 50 grade crossings and 5 light rail vehicles in its light rail system. These systems will increase safety, reduce delays, and ensure a wide range of communities across the state will benefit from its improvement. Here, I could tell them in 5 minutes. People walk out in front of things. I don't need an AI to tell me that.
It would be you should use it in a place like Florida, which has a very high suicide rate.
Yep. Oh, that's why they got fences along some. That's why you go up to Park Ridge. They got those fences now up there. People were coming out of those places and standing in front of the train.
Yes, but see, that's what's happening in Florida. People were not happy with the train. They say, "Oh, it's going to be dangerous." Here, we'll show you.
Yeah, watch this. Bam.
Yeah. I mean, I could see it well, I bet you California might get into it. They just got $800 million. So they can improve their transportation and such for the Olympics.
Now, that's in Southern California or Northern?
Southern.
Southern, okay.
It's going to be in L.A.
Oh, okay, that's right.
In 28.
I know Salt Lake City just put in for the 2034 Winter Olympics. So, well, now we're on California. San Francisco. The San Francisco Metropolitan Transportation Agency's train control system today uses a system that relies on 5.5-inch floppy disks.
I'm waiting for the punchline on this one.
The ABC television network affiliate in San Francisco reported this weekend that the MTA train control system software and data still runs on a 5.5-inch floppy disk. The type of floppy disk that is likely only remembered by people who've been around for a while. The 5.5-inch floppy disk is truly floppy, meaning that it's a piece of flexible thing. This type of floppy disk was developed in the late 70s and in the early 80s and was offered very little storage space. If you remember floppies at all, you'll likely remember the 3.5-inch floppies. While these disks contain essentially the same material as the larger ones, The material is encased in a hard plastic shell. That is true. Nevertheless, they were used primarily in the 80s and early 90s. Today, of course, we have internal and external hard drives that hold multiple terabytes of data. In the computer age, it's not uncommon for industrial users of systems to use an aging or obsolete technology, but it still works. Maintenance costs remain reasonable, and the investment in a replacement system requires lots of dollars, training time, and costs. We've heard of banks still using mainframes running COBOL, blah, 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 blah. MTA realizes that its train control system is in serious need of upgrade. There's your catch line. And that the yellow lines in the system map below represent the portion of the system operated by floppy disks. I don't have the map here. The agency even has a backgrounder on its website that says, today, Metro Muni runs an automated control system that was installed in the Market Street subway in 1998 and still runs on floppy disks. Some of its parts are no longer available. For this reason alone, it's vital that we replace the existing system. You think? So that's I know. I read this. And I'm like, they're still running with. I mean, those things were, you pulled it out of the sleeve and stuffed it in there, and they got dirt on them. They got scratched. Oh man, they were a nightmare. And they're still running their transit system with this.
Well, somebody gave them a good deal.
And finally, last story. National Association of Revisionary Property Owners are now at CSX throat. Well, you're going to like this. CSX is playing basically what amounts to I'm not going to read the thing here because it's just a highlight. What CSX was doing is when they abandoned the line, they put communities want to make a rail trail. So now they fight over how much. Well, a couple of years ago, the STB put a 4-year limit on that. If they can't settle in 4 years, it's abandoned, goes to the property owners or reverts back or whatever. To get around that, CSX has been doing is, at about the 3-year point, turn the property, the abandoned right-of-way, over to their subsidiary called the Georgetown and Highline Railroad. And now the clock resets and you start another 4-year period. And then when that one dragged on for 3 years, it reverts back to CSX. The revisionary guys caught on to this and filed a complaint at the STB saying, hey, wait a minute, it's all the same company. But legally, they're not because they're a wholly owned subsidiary. So that's what the complaint is. I saw that and I said, oh, they're at it again.
Jeez, I mean, that's why a lot of trackage is being protested when they're trying to reactivate it.
Yep.
Northern Jersey, to be exact. You got a piece across the Delaware River, Lackawanna Cutoff, they call it.
Oh, yeah.
All they had, Conrail did, so they didn't have to pay taxes, they disconnected each end of the bridge on the tracks. In this way, the track's not being used, and up past Andover, New Jersey, the tracks were no longer used. Well, now they're trying to come in, and for some reason, they had a foreign visitor come in, I guess, a frog. And turns out to be a rare frog. And its nesting area happened to be right in the middle of the tracks that were abandoned.
The old can't do it because of the environment.
Right, yes, oh yes. All the environmentalists were out there. And the thing is, they go through one office of the Environment Protection Agency.
Then they go to an endangered species. They're doing
that. And the guy that was talking about it in Jersey, Did you ever see Ghostbusters?
Mm-hmm.
You know that guy from the EPA?
Yeah.
They remind me of him.
Did you see the latest movie?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's down there.
And he's now the mayor.
Yeah.
And I thought, oh, this is so good. Yes, we happened to go there. We saw that first before we went and saw Godzilla.
Yeah, we went 2 weeks ago. There was 5 of us in the theater because we went to the first show, which is at 10:30 in the morning.
You and I are probably in the same theater.
No, we're at Norwich.
Oh, I was in Village.
I wanted to go to Village. She said, no, we'll go to Norwich. All right, fine, because we have the AMC crap.
Well, that's what I do.
Oh.
They're AMC.
By the way, at the front desk, they were giving away $7 coupons where you can get popcorn and Coke for $7.
Yep.
Anyway, so, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, that was their work. But, yeah, that's what they do. And they're finally getting the track relayed.
See, I call that the 3-card what do they call that?
3-card money.
Yeah. Okay.
Exactly.
Look here while we rearrange over here. It's like.
And it's in there. Yeah. The states were doing. Pennsylvania was all for it. Come on, hook it up. Jersey was the one fighting it. And now they finally got it all as smooth as it will ever be.
Here, Froggy. Rap. Oh, there we go. No more problem.
Yeah,
Run them over.
Hey, let's get the Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner.
All right, tell us about the steam engine in Bensonville.
Yes, everybody's going to be looking forward to that. The Empress. She's an early class Hudson locomotive. Looks good. It had no streamlining done to it or anything. It was the next round of Hudsons that they made. They turned them into Royal Hudsons. And that's where it really looked nice. But anyway, the steam locomotive is going to do something that hasn't ever been done. She is going to travel, starting her journey in Calgary.
Okay.
It's called the Final Spike Express. This is to solidify the merger of Canadian Pacific and the Kansas City Southern. Now that they got a new stadium, so.
Could have put the engine in the middle. Oh, go look good.
And they're going to run a train from here to Mexico City. That's one of the reasons why they went after Kansas City Southern, because they were doing the trafficking, taking the trains across the border.
Yeah, they had the Kansas City, Mexico line.
Yeah. And so this will be the first time a steam locomotive in North America will be running through 3 different countries.
Cool.
And they are going to make certain stopovers for it. They're not going to keep pounding the rail. She is going to be running without help.
Oh, okay.
There will be no extra locomotives on the train. Steamer's going to do it all itself.
So it's been renovated pretty good.
Oh yeah, she got renovated. I think it was 2012, because she actually came here for an excursion with the 261, and they double-headed, coming down from Minneapolis, St. Paul.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's flying solo, like the little red Solo Cup. And she will be on display on the 8th of May at Franklin Park.
Oh, it's May 8th. I thought it was June 8th.
No, May 8th.
May 8th, okay.
That's your May Day. Mayday, Mayday. Oh, wrong Mayday. But yeah, it's May 8th is when it'll be here. She'll be arriving on the 9th, and they'll clean her up, and plus they going through.
I mean, she comes in on the 7th if it's on display on the 8th.
Mm-hmm.
It said the 9th. 9th is leaving.
9th is when it's leaving.
Yep. It'll be off of Manheim, or is it going to be in the Bensonville Yards?
No, it'll be off of Manheim.
Okay.
That's why they put Franklin Park. And do not know how big the train will be.
Not sure all.
I know there's going to be a couple sleepers on there because I think they're taking 3 crews.
I'm trying to imagine where you're going to park trying to go see it over at Manheim. There's no parking there now.
True.
Except Al and Jerry's will be. Al and what's his name over the little deli down the street will be happy.
Yeah, and then we're setting up a table for Operation Lifesaver there. And
So that's where you tell them that to make sure if you know there's a train coming, to put the ear to the track.
Yep.
Okay.
Practice them old. Let's get them cowboy tricks.
And then Franklin Park Railroad Days is the first weekend in June.
Yes, it is.
Don't have the exact date.
And I won't be there for it. Yeah, I'm usually there with the Midwest Rails, and first Saturday of the month always do Operation Lifesaver for the Boy Scouts. They got 120 kids signed up so far. I said, "You're not going to go anymore, are you?"
That's good. Because I'll get out there at 9 o'clock when they start bringing the locomotives in just to get the pictures before they tape it all up.
Mm-hmm.
And then I scram. I don't want to be there with the crowds.
Oh yeah, yeah. But come in and get it, and
Unless I run into somebody I know, then I'll hang around for a while. But
yeah.
They'd always leave one locomotive running so they could play with the horn. And one year, I remember how they got the walkway that runs the length of the locomotive.
Yeah.
The people walking along it to get into the next cab. And all of a sudden, the engine kicks in to pump back whatever it was doing to pump something back up. I remember some big guy, 6'6", about 300 pounds. What's happening? What? That's the most funniest sight in the world to see.
Oh. Well, it is. It's amazing what it is. Now, just got the notice today. I did a quick read. UP 4014. Big boy.
Oh, okay. I don't know the numbers, so
That's a big number.
yeah.
Anyway, they are going to be starting their tour in July.
Okay.
Now, they were doing the Four Corner tour. So where are they going first? California. The train will be coming out of Wyoming. They're, going to have, like I said, it was in the shop in Cheyenne. And it was in Omaha, and now it's in Cheyenne. They're going to be starting out of there. And Rosewood, California will be the first stop. L.A. And I'm going, okay, well, they're not coal, so.
Overnight, next morning they come out and it's up on bricks. The wheels are missing.
Yep. You hear that? You can see it on the milk carton. Missing train. But yeah, and then she's going up to Oregon, and then over to Montana.
How far east is it going to come?
It's coming to Illinois.
Where?
Chicago.
Oh, really?
Oh, yes.
Is it coming up the northwestern lines, or is it coming up the eastern Illinois lines?
Well, it's coming down from Minneapolis. Will be the run.
Probably be on the old northwestern lines then.
Yeah, northwestern lines, and come down. I got some really good shots up there at Pleasant Prairie.
That means it's going to have to swing by behind the airport because the bridges in the city won't handle it.
That's right.
So they'll probably come around by...
Yeah, well, we come in, when it came down the first time.
Yeah, they came down that route, yeah.
In 19. Oh, yeah. Came down.
I went to West Chicago.
Yeah, so did I.
I was there.
I was.
That was the year I was still suffering, and I was have to look. I had no clue at half the times what was going on because I still had that, still trying to recover from that onslaught of the disease and treatment.
Yeah.
So I was a little delirious. And I was driving. Everybody said I drive real good. Weird people.
Yeah. Well, yeah. They were up at Gurnee and then came down the track.
Yeah, they call that the new line.
Yeah, the new line, and came in this way, and then they go in like they were going into Proviso Yard.
Yeah, because I went up to Arlington Heights to catch it.
Yeah, because by the time it hit Gurnee, and they kept it in Gurnee for a while, and I guess they were doing something with it. They had a chopper over it and watching that going down, and they went along.
Well, one of the video guys chartered that chopper to do that.
Yeah. And it was one of the last films that Greg Scholl made before he passed.
No. At least he enjoyed doing what he's doing.
Yes, he does. So. He did. Let me tell you. It was real funny. Before I got married, I was dating this one gal, and she liked coming down and seeing the train movies at the Cincinnati Union Terminal. And we had he just got back the film that he shot with the 2839, the streamline, Royal Hudson, and so we were sitting in there watching, and he was in the woods, and he was on one side of the train, and we had a guy by the name of Gilbert Eversole. Oh, he was a card. And, the guy clog danced and everything else. He was the official watch repairman for the Shriners. That's what he did for a living.
Wow.
And, he repaired all the clocks. And even after he quit doing regular. And he was a member of the Cincinnati Railroad Club, and he was a car host. And he was standing in the one car, and he was at the door, and he was waving out. And he had got him pictures of Gilbert sitting there doing it. You saw Gilbert and smiling. And then the next shot that he took when he went down the track was on the other side, and there was this gal in the car, and she looked out, and her boyfriend told her to flash. And by God, she flashed. Turned out...
Was Jerry Springer there to give her beads?
It was... she was Miss Canada.
Cool.
Miss Canada. And Gilbert didn't know. Gilbert was on out the door on the other side, looking out. Oh.
Yeah, the fun days.
Oh, they were.
What else you got?
Nothing much, really. Oh, yes. Ford.
That's right, the Ford.
Ford Motor Company made good its promise. One of the railway stations that begged to be saved was the Michigan Central up in Detroit. And finally Ford bought the building and says, we're going to fix this. Well, she's just about ready to be dedicated. On June 6th, they're going to dedicate the Michigan Central Station. And it's also going to be like Graphic Institute and come up with new ideas and such for some of the engineers at Ford. So if you haven't seen this station lately, go on up to Detroit. Believe it or not, it's cleaner. Give it 2 years. It'll be back the way it was. But yeah, I think that, and I believe they're also providing some information for the Buffalo train station.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, especially with some of the people that had worked on this. I think that's reconstruction company is going to be working with that. Because believe it or not, the people who did Cincinnati Union Terminal, they did Buffalo Union Terminal. They built Buffalo first.
Well, it's good. It's about time they save those. Now if we can just get them to save the Gary Union, we'll be fine. I think that one's beyond saving, though.
Yeah. I think it'd be better to do the powerhouse. But
well, that's great news. You know, the nice landmark up there, and
yeah, you got a nice landmark, you know. And I mean, it's like the shame, you know, we were talking about the suicides. You got that Highline Park in New York City.
mm-hmm.
That was a good idea. And the 12th Avenue Highline. But unfortunately, not even 6 months into it, there were people committing suicide off that platform on the north end. And you're talking right at the beginning of the yards.
Well, same with a lot of the bridges now. If you look down below where the street is, go down about 6 feet out, you'll see that there's now nets along a lot of the bridges, so people can't do the swan dive any longer.
Yeah, I mean it's.
I mean,
unless I get a freighter to run into it.
Yeah, I mean, how desperate you got to be though to take a swan dive off of a bridge? I mean, I don't know.
It's something that we can't
fathom. That's
yeah.
Well, again, people stand out in front of the trains and they throw themselves in front of the trains, and the other one is the death by cop, where they deliberately shoot, hoping to get 50 bullets back at them, and then the family complains.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's crazy people out there. Anywho, anything else besides the... Now, Michigan Central, part of the New York Central, part of the Penn Central, part of Conrail, that area, I think, is part of NS today. Up in Detroit.
Yes.
Yeah.
They got basically the Pennsylvania, and CSX got New York Central.
Yeah. So I just want to give the people, we talk about the Michigan Central, we got to put that in context.
Yeah.
What railroad we're actually talking about.
Yeah. Well, the Michigan Central was a subsidiary of New York Central.
So that's the line of ownership there.
Mm-hmm. It was just like, you know, they said, when they said, they were asked a question, trivia question, and it happened to be a railroad one.
Oops, lost the wrong person on that one.
Yeah. And he goes, it said every 7th Berkshire to come out of the Lima Locomotive Works, or no, every 7th Berkshire that was built went to what railroad?
New York Central? No?
Found out this railroad had more Berkshires than the big ones you think about. And I was thinking about, the one you always hear about Berkshires is nickel plate.
Okay.
I was saying, and it turns out the railroad that had the most Berkshires was the Erie.
Oh, really?
The Erie Railroad. They made a good one.
Okay, what's the wheel arrangement of Berkshire for those people who have no clue, like me?
A 284.
Okay, 284, okay.
284.
Yeah, I know the wheel arrangement, I just don't know all the names. I know the Americans 440, that's about it.
Yeah, Americans 440.
I mean, we're in the age of diesels. Anybody less than 40 has no clue what we're talking about when we talk about, it's a Berkshire, it's a Mikado, it's a Northern.
Yeah, it's just like they kept trying to change the name Mikado in World War II to MacArthur. And somehow that didn't stick.
Well, there's some names that'll get out there and they'll never get changed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
Except they had to change Jay's potato chips.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, it was called Japs originally until World War II, then they changed the name.
Okay, Jay.
So
Gotcha. But yeah, it's surprising the names that they've come up with. And Big Boy was given by a worker in the Schenectady factory. Took a piece of chalk. Big Boy.
And what do they call the ones on the Southern Pacific, the front end cabs? Front ends? Or the ones that were front end cabs?
Oh, the cab forwards?
Yeah.
Backwards Yellowstones.
Okay.
Basically, the wheel arrangement was a Yellowstone. 2884.
Oh, okay. Now, who had a triple one?
There were two railroads.
Okay.
Erie had three, built by Baldwin.
Triplexes, that's what they were called.
Yep, triplexes. And
was that the 24442? I think it was.
2882.
Okay.
You were doing it European style.
Except after 6 o'clock. Anyway.
But yeah.
And who's the other railroad?
The other railroad was the Virginian.
Okay.
And they went 2884.
Okay.
And one of the things there were a couple of things bad about it. They took care of the some of the problems, but one of the things was it lost its traction under the tender.
Oh.
See, that's where the third set of driving wheels were. But as it used all the coal,
The weight. It was a weight problem.
yeah, between that and the loss of water. And they had trouble keeping the fire going sometimes. They had bad draft.
So that didn't really work out very well. Didn't they end up taking one set off and just make it a mallet instead?
Well, yeah, the actually Virginian did that. The Virginian took it. The front set became what was it? A 282. Mikado.
Okay.
And it was a heavy Mikado.
Well,
And then the other one became 2882, or it was a 2884.
again, it was an idea. I mean, there's a couple of videos out there of weird
Yeah.
locomotives and stuff, and you don't know until you try.
Yeah. Well, it's like, oh, here you go. Now look at this.
Yeah.
Now this is a actual
Huber.
drawing that from the guy from Lima.
Now, is that chain drive?
Yes. What he did, he wanted to make the trucks quieter.
Oh.
So he came up. This was basically a Shay. He took the Shay idea, but he made.
Put it internally instead of externally. The
Yeah.
Pistons. Okay.
And if you noticed, it had
Yeah.
regular cylinders, sort of like a Climax.
Mm-hmm.
And what he did was he wanted to do the. He never built an actual working engine.
That's too bad.
But this way, yeah, with the heavy duty chains.
So who can we convince to try it? If I won the lottery, I'd try it.
I would too.
Obviously, I'm not going to try it.
Now why? I can't believe it. It's still going. And it's still getting bigger.
Oh, I thought somebody won the $1 billion one.
Oh, when?
Well, last week, somebody in Oregon.
Of course.
Yeah, what do you call rich a Democrat who wins the lottery? Republican. Anyway. But yeah, if we had the money, I'd try it. Or at least build a riding version of it. You don't have to build the full size, just to see if it would work.
Yeah.
I remember a buddy of mine. We went to the IRM, Illinois Railway Museum, and watched a Shay go by. With the 3 pistons.
Yeah.
And he's like looking at it and goes, "That can't work. That's not supposed to work. That's impossible to work." I go, "It's working right there." Because he was a guy who used to
And
build engines.
it was a small, and that's a small Shay too.
Yeah. And I said, it's built for efficiency. Its top speed was only like 10 miles an hour. It's built to haul log trains over questionable track.
Yes.
And that's what it was built for, and it did it very well.
Yes, it did. Ephraim Shay had the right idea.
I remember when that thing passed by us at the museum, you could feel the ground just rumble.
Well, if you go down, if you ever make it down to Cass, beautiful collection. You have different size Shays. One I particularly know about, number 11, 90-ton Shay. It's the second most powerful Shay that they have. That Shay came from California. Sierra Railroad.
Okay, yeah, that's old hilly country there.
That's where it was one of the lumber out of there.
Yep.
Feather River Lumber Company. Feather River number 3. And that's how it got donated to us for the Pacific Southwest Railway Museum. And yes, we ran it. They had it stationed. We didn't have any big properties or property or anything.
Mm-hmm.
So they allowed us to keep it on the spur in the Miramar Naval Air Station.
Hey, at least it's protected.
Yep. And
Look, there's a guy doing graffiti. Doing graffiti.
and we
just happened to have target practice that day.
yeah, in fact, when we were moving all the equipment out to Campo, where the museum is now,
Mm-hmm.
It was halfway through the trip, and the reversing rod snapped.
Ooh, that's not good.
Oh, yeah. All of a sudden, shaking, they threw it in. I missed it because we were... I helped set it up during the week. We took the engine out, got it all lined up, all the cars, and son of a gun, boom. So we had a little 35 tonner, and that pulled all the equipment to Campo. This is while they were all in Mexico. And, but yeah, they ended up buying the, Cass was looking for a good heavy duty Shay. They just didn't want to keep depending upon, number 6, Western Maryland number 6, the largest Shay built. And so, yeah, they changed it to a coal burner. Hey, went to Cass.
What was it burning before? Wood?
Oil.
Oil. Okay.
Oil burner. And it's just like if you go to Heston, when they get number 7 running. It's the last narrow gauge Shay built in 1929. They sent it out to California. California. Oil burner. And then they sold it to a mining company. Now they use it in the lumber as an oil burner.
Mm-hmm.
They sold it to a company in Arizona, and it became oil fired or coal fired. Worked in the coal mines.
Oh yeah, endless supply for them.
Yeah, so they using that, and then we got it back as an oil. Now that was number 3, and then it ended up being sold to R.R. Donnelly. He collected narrow gauge locomotives, and that's how they ended up out at Heston Steam Museum. And unfortunately got caught in a fire, but it had been changed over to be a wood burner. And there's a lot of wood around there.
Yep. So our Donnelly, huh?
Yeah, R.R. Donnelly.
Oh, interesting. So anything else?
No, that's about it.
Yeah, nothing much in the model. I have to go talk to Fish one of these days and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because he's got a shop now in Tinley Park. So I have to get down
He's in Tinley Park now.
It's in Tinley Park.
Where?
I had the address.
Okay.
So it's called Hands to Work. It's roughly near 127th and Cicero. But he's on the southeast of that intersection. He used to be northwest of the intersection. Then he moved. So I have to get down there. I told him I can't come in the winter because the tollway being under construction, I can't see the markers, the lane markers at night.
Oh, no.
And I came back from his place in December, and I had 3 near misses. And I said, I'm not coming down here until I can drive home in the daylight. They're just too far. It's an hour and a half drive, even on the tollway. Doing 80. It still takes me an hour and a half to get there.
I wonder how long it'll take me.
You know, so I got your email. I'll send you the address.
Yeah, send me the address, and then I'll see if
Yeah, drop in on them.
Yeah, oh, of course.
So it's and there's nothing else on the shows. The Midwest show was this weekend. Again, the next one's in the first Sunday of each month is the Great Midwest Train Show at Wheaton.
Yeah. And the thing that get me, it is going to be Train Fest this year.
Yep.
And it is going to be different.
Yeah, I heard they moved it to the
Convention Center.
Yeah, limited parking. So I was talking to somebody else who was complaining about it. I said, maybe we'll take Amtrak up there or something. I don't know.
Yeah, well, yeah, I can see me carrying my trains on
Yeah, exactly. Gotta wonder what they were thinking.
Well, that's the same guy that's running. Well, you know why this
Yeah.
Milwaukee commission that owns the fairgrounds, they jacked the price. And I'm going, you didn't make anything during COVID.
What do they got to make up for it? By the way, Milwaukee extended their streetcar line got extended. It's now
Yes,
open.
it did. Yes, it did.
So I told my buddy, hey, field trip this summer.
Gonna have to.
Yep, no doubt about it. Got to ride the hop extension.
Oh, definitely.
So that was good news.
Yeah,
And
and Ron will be proud of us if he listens tonight.
Yep. And then the the bakery train's still running. The UP down the Cragen line, that's still running. I saw it yesterday go by. 3 weeks ago, I was up with my other buddy. We were actually there watching them switch. And those UP guys must be ex-Northwestern guys. Said they didn't care we were on the tracks or anything, walking around. All the guy said was, just don't let us hit you, basically.
Oh yeah, well,
We'll watch them switch out the bakery there.
oh, it was kind of funny when EJ&E used to go into the Waukegan yard at noon for switching. Me and my buddy, he was a BT, and he happened to be a rail enthusiast. So for lunch, we'd leave the base, go up to Waukegan, and after we got to know the guys real good, we'd, hey, come on up, dude. Gave us lessons.
Cool. Well, a guy gave me a schematic of the Great Lakes Naval Base, somewhere in the 50s, showing all the rail connections.
Oh,
This thing is this big, and I'm trying to figure out how in the hell to get it scanned. Now, the one guy I knew who had a flatbed that would handle it, unfortunately moved to Tennessee, then died. So I don't have access to a scanner. So I was inquiring at school, and the guy came up with an idea, and I have to go talk to the photography department. They got a big camera that they put on a huge tripod. And what we think we can do is lay it flat, 6 feet up, see if we can take a picture that way, so we can get it all in one shot, and then I can manipulate it and put it in the magazine and stuff.
yeah. Well, when I was
I can't scan it. My little scanner only handles 8.5 by 11. This thing is 3 by 4. I'd be all day trying to figure out how to stitch the pictures together.
oh,
and stuff.
I've got the trackage around Chicago.
Yeah.
I got a really big, and it is laminated. And I'm sitting there going, okay.
Is that the switching district one? Yeah. That's a nice map. I got mine rolled up in a wrapped in plastic.
I got the when I was in 71, 71, I was at Great Lakes. I got here and
Oh, maybe next
It
show
would-
I'll bring the map down so you can look at it and reminisce over it.
yeah, 'cause I mean,
This still shows even the North Shore service. Serving it.
well, it's got you got the lumber yard there that had the right at the station they had the switch, and they had and then behind where the boiler shop was, the school for the boilermen. There was a small yard right in there. There was like 5 tracks.
Yeah, maybe next show I'll bring
You
it.
had
we can look at
one.
it.
You had one line that actually started going up the streets, and then cross over a bridge to get over to the hospital side. And they made all its deliveries on that. Yeah, I actually saw a couple of delivery runs before they shut it down.
Okay, so I think we're good.
I think we are, and I believe.
Okay, I'm waiting for your.
Well, we're coming to the end of another broadcast day. Our express is slowing down, coming into the station. We want to thank you for joining us for our journey through the wonderful world of trains. Chicago Junction is a production of the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network and can be listened to on the web at www.windycityhometown.com, where you can listen to tonight's broadcast and all our past episodes. Also sample some of the other programs that are being offered. This is your announcer, Brian Valou, with my co-host, Doug Kenyuk. See you next month.
Goodbye.
You have been listening to Chicago Junction on the Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network from the John DeVita Broadcast Center on Wednesday, April the 10th, the year 2024. Chicago Junction was produced and directed by John DeVita, and our special thanks to the executive producer of Windy City Hometown Entertainment Network, Mr. John Chiconda. This program was pre-recorded on Wednesday, April the 10th, 2024. Until next time, friends, please be safe and thanks for listening.